Hey, Reem.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I think it's been a little bit, maybe since last week that we spoke. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes,
Yeah. Do
yes.
anything fun?
Yeah, it was a nice weekend.
What'd you do?
I go with my friend for shopping, and I went to the desert because it was raining here.
Oh,
So when
nice.
so when it's rain, so when it rains here, we go to the desert because we don't rain a lot here. So to see the rain, to see the wet weather.
Yeah, yeah. No, I grew up in a desert in Arizona, so it's the same. When it rains, it's like an event. We all want to go out and see it and hear it and smell it. It's
Yeah,
nice when it rains in the desert.
yeah.
Yeah, it's rare. Awesome, good. Well, I'm glad you had a good weekend. What kind of dessert did you have?
We camping for a long of the day. We stay there most of the day, and there are a lot of people there.
Did you eat anything delicious?
Yeah, we made a barbecue.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's see here. I know we were in the intermediate conversation topics, but I don't remember exactly which lesson. I think we did service animals. Did we do social activities?
Yes, today we will have your ideal day. Yeah.
Okay, very good. That's what I wasn't sure if we were on the social activities or the ideal day. So we'll get started then. Like always, there's the warm up. So tell me about your morning. What time do you usually wake up?
I wake up at 9 o'clock, sometimes at 10 o'clock. Nowadays, I'm not an early bird. I'm a night owl because I don't have work. I don't have university. I just focus on learning English. So I stay up late, study at night, and I wake up late. But
Nice.
I used to wake up at 6:30.
Ooh, that was when you were in school, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's interesting how your biology changes a little as you get older. When I was younger, I was very much a night owl and I was sharper at night. Now that I get older, I wake up earlier and I'm sharper in the morning. When I try to practice my Spanish at night, it's so hard for me. But when I practice early, uh, it's easy now. But I was completely opposite when I was in my 20s. So
yeah.
it's kind of interesting how your body and your biology changes as you get older. If you could choose, which it kind of sounds like you are right now, you have a flexible schedule. So are you kind of happy with like being a night owl, waking up at 9 or 10, or would you choose something different?
Yeah, if I could choose, I would choose to wake up late. I don't like to wake up early, especially in winter. But if I have work, if I have studying or something I should do, I prefer to wake up early because that helps me to save my time, to do a lot of things, to be more active through the
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm the same way. I mean, that's pretty much why I get up early now, so I can get things done when I'm kind of at my most productive. Um, I agree that in the winter it's much harder to do though. That's one of the reasons why I like living somewhere that's warm all year. Because man, when it's cold outside, you just want to stay in bed, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that kind of talks a little bit about the benefits of getting up early too, right? You kind of have a little bit more time. You can kind of get your productive hours of the way. So we'll
yeah,
skip that last question. We've already done it. Um, All right, so I'm going to skip the grammar page again. I don't think that it's important to understand the names of these things.
yeah.
If you're thinking about grammar while you're speaking, then you're not speaking naturally. The most important thing is you train your ear to recognize when something sounds right or sounds wrong, right? So you can start making those corrections. And that's exactly what this practice is. So let's do that. right? Here we have some sentences, right? And they say statements like, I can choose what I have for lunch tomorrow, right? And we want to kind of create a sentence that uses if and will, right? So, if I can choose what I have for lunch tomorrow, I will have pizza, right? So that's just kind of an example. Why don't we go through the next sentences, and you can do the same thing. See if you can add these conditions like if and will to the sentences.
If I have free time after this lesson, I will watch a movie. Yeah.
Good. Mm-hmm.
If the weather is nice this weekend, I will go for a trip. If I get a $100 gift card from my mother, I will buy a new mobile phone. If my friend asks me to go to dinner this Friday, I will go.
Yeah, very good. See, that's what I think. It's better to just practice. Yeah, that was easy for you. And sometimes here we even throw in the word then, right? Because then kind of is it tells you next in time. Do you know the difference between then with an E and then with an A?
No.
This is something you want to learn early on, just so you don't create bad habits and make mistakes later. And it's something that a lot of even native speakers will struggle with. So then with an E is time, right? Like I eat breakfast, then I go to the gym. I practice my, English, then I watch a movie. So then with an E is always talking about time passing. And then with an A is a comparison. Like, I would rather practice English than go to work. I would rather, exercise than be lazy. So whenever you're comparing things, it's then with an A. Whenever you're talking about time, it's then with an E.
Yeah. Then with A, like after that, it means after that.
Yeah, right? If I do this, then after that, I will do this.
Yeah.
Yep. And then with an A is usually some kind of comparison. Like, I'd rather do this than that. So we talked about waking up. What about going to bed? What time do you usually sleep at?
I sleep at 2 a.m.
Oh, you stay up pretty late.
Yeah, because I study English at night. I read books, I read articles, I listen to podcasts or watch movies. So I prefer to do that at night.
Yeah. Does that make you tired then and like easier to sleep?
Yeah, I don't feel tired at all because I wake up late.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what it makes sense, right? If you go to sleep at 2 and you wake up at 10, that's a full 8 hours. So certainly it makes sense where that routine is. I like to read before I go to bed because it helps me sleep. So I would definitely expect studying is even harder than reading, right? I get a lot of enjoyment out of reading. Studying can be a little harder sometimes. So I think that would also work well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so kind of like waking up, it sounds like this is a routine you like, so you probably wouldn't change it, right?
Yeah, nowadays I don't change it. But in the future, when I started working or started any task, I will change this schedule.
Yeah. Is that hard for you? Like when you were in school, right? You might kind of go to this later schedule on your breaks. When you would restart your semester and you had to adjust back to an earlier schedule, was it difficult?
Everything in the beginning will be difficult because I used to wake up late, but by the time it become easier. If I want to wake up early, day after day, I will find it easier.
Sure. That makes sense. I think that us humans are pretty adaptable, and that initial change can be difficult, whether it's what we eat, how active we are, when we sleep, when we wake up. After, after we've done the change for a little while, maybe a few weeks, maybe a month or two, usually we can get used to almost any change.
Yeah. I prefer to wake up early if I have something to do, because that give me the chance to have my breakfast, to drink my coffee and read a magazine, to do some exercises. Maybe people who wake up before their work, maybe half an hour, they don't have the chance to have their breakfast. Maybe they don't have the chance, maybe even to look at themselves in the mirror. So they stay tired most of the day. Even
Yeah.
when they left their homes, they realize they forget some things like their wallet or their mobile phones. So they put themselves in a difficult situations.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Most of my life, I've had to be to work at maybe 8 or 9 in the morning, which probably meant I was waking up at like 7 or 8, maybe an hour before work, just to jump in the shower, put on some clothes, and go to work. There was no way I was going to wake up early enough to do anything else because it had already felt early to me. Now that I can choose my own schedule, I usually don't start working till 10, but I get up between 5 and 6 on my own, just because I do take my mornings now to make coffee, make breakfast, exercise, practice my Spanish. So it's funnier. I work later and I wake up earlier, but it's because I use that time for my head. Sometimes you'd not even look in the mirror and you'd forget to brush your hair when I had some, right? Maybe brush my beard now. Or you'd forget your wallet or your phone or something like that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about ideal day, right? I like my day pretty routine. I do that morning routine. I work. I have a little bit of a night routine, but less strict. What about you? Do you have an ideal day?
Yes, I wake up. Usually, I wake up at 9 o'clock. I After I have my shower, I have my coffee with my mom, and if the weather good, sometimes I go for running in the park. And after that, I come home. I do some housework. I prepare the lunch, and after the lunch, I study. I read an articles. Maybe I read uh, a book. And in the evening, sometimes I visit my sister, or I go for shopping, or if I have any tasks, I do these tasks in the evening.
Nice, nice. Sounds like a very balanced day. You have some time in the morning with your mom and just getting ready. You also take care of some important, things like exercise and studying and, other chores or errands you have to run. Plus some
Yeah,
more time, just enjoying yourself with reading and with your sister. So seems
yeah,
like a very good balance of like things
yeah,
that need to be done, like cleaning, but also things that, serve you, like studying
yeah.
and
In general,
exercise.
I prefer to have a schedule. I prefer to plan my day. I prefer to do things ahead of time. I don't like to leave things at the last minutes. Uh,
Yeah.
so I have a balance routine, a balance day.
Yeah, I'm definitely the same way. I like to have a routine or an agenda, especially that gets things done early. Because if I just leave it up to like going with the flow, yeah, I get lazy or I forget, and then things pile up. So I like to I like to get to work early and just get things out of the way and be routine.